In the headlines, baby, 4 women die in Jigawa canoe accident. Gunmen kill Islamic cleric in Ebonyi as Murik calls for justice. Chelsea sack manager Tuchel after Dinamo Zagreb defeat. Away from Nigeria, African nations meet in Egypt for climate funds ahead of COP27. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for joining. And now the details. The Jigawa State Police Command has confirmed the death of a 7-month-old baby and 4 women in a canoe accident in Guri local government area of the state. Confirming the incident on Wednesday, Public Relations Officer in the state, DSP Lawan Shisu, said that immediately they got information about the incident, local divers in the area were mobilized to rescue the passengers, adding that they have recovered the corpses. The PPRO said that the corpses were taken to Adiani Health Facility and were certified dead by a medical doctor. Shisu said that the victims were all residents of Adiani village, adding that an investigation into the case has commenced. A renowned Islamic cleric in Southeast, Sheikh Ibrahim Yorji, was shot dead on Sunday at his residence in Isu, Onitsha local government area of Ebonyi State by gunmen suspected to be members of the outlawed indigenous people of Biafra. He died Monday night at the Federal Teaching Hospital, Abakaliki, where he was taken for medical treatment. The Muslim rights concern Murik, while condoling with the Ebonyi State Muslims, charged the authorities to arrest and prosecute the killers. Murik, in a statement signed by the chairman of the Abuja branch, Salahuddin Ustaz Yunus, urged the government to unravel the circumstances around the attack. When contacted, the police public relations officer in Ebonyi, SP Chris Anyau, said that the command was not aware of the incident. Some Boko Haram fighters who were escaping the military bombardment in Borno State have been attacked by their Islamic State West Africa province rivals. The military has increased its raid against insurgents on the fringes of Lake Chad. Daily Trust had earlier reported how over 200 Boko Haram fighters and their commanders were killed in a military onslaught and how floods sacked some insurgents, forcing them to relocate to east of Kondoga local government area of Borno State. Some of the escapees had sought refuge in Sina village, Bama local government area of the state, but they were attacked according to sources. Corroborating the account, a counter-insurgency expert and security analyst in the Lake Chad said that the military attacks forced hundreds of terrorists and their families to desert their camps to safe havens in other locations. The source told Daily Trust that on sighting the Boko Haram terrorists, they let the 2 commanders, ISWAP fighters, started shooting at them. Now, the governorship candidates of People's Democratic Party, PDP, from Sokoto, Kaduna, Jigawa, Katsina, Ebonyi, Ondo, and 11 others held a closed-door meeting in Port Harcourt with Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike The PDP governorship candidates who arrived at Port Harcourt International Airport were received by the Governor Nyesom Wike's closest ally, Senator Olaka Nwogu. The governorship candidates later hopped into a waiting vehicle and headed to Governor Nyesom Wike's Ada George residence for the closed-door meeting. The agenda of the meeting was not made known to journalists, but sources privy to the meeting said that the governorship candidates were in Port Harcourt to beg Wike to mend fence with the party's presidential candidate Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar and Wike are locked in Cold War over the circumstances surrounding the emergency of the Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa as the former's running mate. Now, Nigeria will become a better place if the citizens will demand quality representation and service from state governors. PDP chieftain in Ogun State, who made this known during a media chat in Lagos, said instead of concentrating on what the federal government can or cannot offer, it is imperative to hold governors accountable. Ayobami Balogun reports.
PDP chieftain Segun Showunmi has tasked Nigerians to pay more attention to the subnational and hold them accountable to ensure deliverance of democracy in the country. He said the concentration on the federal government has made so many state governors to enrich themselves while offering little to the electorate. Showunmi argued that the subnational have a lot to do in the development of the country.
States must start to think about themselves almost like mini countries. They must figure out what they're going to do about their own security. That's why I talked about the biometric capture of citizens to a verifiable address. They must think about what they're going to do about work and employment. That's why I talked about the matching grant so that we can start moving people into existing businesses. They must think about how to make themselves a tourism destination. That's why I was talking about re-imaging and remarketing the state.
The PDP chieftain, who is a former spokesperson for Atiku Abubakar, said it will focus on a sustainable development plan that will, among others, empower the people, ensure security, promote quality education and health service.
So I think that the radical approach that I'm bringing is that it's time for us to now start matching our health spending to the citizen in a tangential manner where it touches them. Of course, that's not all of it, but that's completely radically different. I feel that if we do that, the next step we'll do or try to go to is to figure out a way to divide the citizens in the states to doctors that are there. Invariably, what I'm saying is that if we had 100 doctors, for instance, and we had like 2,000 citizens, then I could divide the citizens into, to maybe like 100, or 20, whatever number that gives us the doctor, so that every doctor in the states knows that he has a responsibility to look after the health of those people at a cost for government.
The PDP in Ogun State has been in crisis since the conduct of primaries to elect the governorship candidates of the party in the state. Showunmi is challenging the emergence of Ladi Adebutu as the party's governorship candidate at the Supreme Court.
In terms of a divided party, I truly don't think we're divided, to be fair. We both accept the supremacy of our national organs. We accept the supremacy of our state chairman, Sikiru Lagundele and co, and we're all working there. The issue has to do with how ought the primaries to have been done.
Now, the Sarkin Hausawa of Egbalan in Ogun State, Alhaji Ibrahim Hassan has urged all the Hausawa leaders in the 20 local government areas of the state to be careful in their involvement in ethnic violence and shun partisan politics in order to protect their image and that of their people. He made the call during an interactive session with the Arewa leaders in the state in Abeokuta. Abbas Ibrahim Alibi has more.
During the interactive session, which was meant to address the challenges confronting the Arewa community in the state, the Sarkin Hausawa also advised the Northerners to shun election violence.
We don't want to be saying that Hausa community, they are involved in the polling session. Anybody that come and vote, you should vote and go his house. We don't want any Hausa that we hear that you do any sort of bad things at the polling station.
On his part, the leader of Arewa community in Ogun State, Alhaji Usman Shehu Safan, said it will be wise to create database for the members of the Arewa community living in the state for security purpose.
We have a kind of comprehensive meeting so that we can have a data of our people and what they do within the community they are. And of course, you know that recently there are a lot of issues about the country, particularly on security matters. And then that's what limit fit for us to come down here and meet the Sirikis and tell them the reason why we should be one united, the reason why we should have a kind of leaders in various capacities. And I believe doing this, we equally give the state a speedy peace, which we are enjoying.
The Special Assistant to Ogun State Governor on Ethnic Affairs, Malam Hadi Sani, said the interactive session with the traditional rulers of the Arewa community and other stakeholders is paramount due to the issue regarding security in the country.
Some couple of months ago, we had some certain issues of domestic activities, like we have a huge number of influx of people from the north, especially through the trucks. It has generated a whole lot of arguments, and as the representative and leaders of this community, we have to make sure we look inward. We immediately switch into action by going into each communities, especially those communities that those trucks will land to, like Ogere and other areas. We address them that we have to regulate it as a result of the insecurity nature of the country.
He called on those residing in the state not to be allowed to be used as political tools by selfish politicians. From Abeokuta, Abbas Ibrahim Dalibi, Trust TV.
The governor of Kebbi State, Atiku Bagudu, has approved the dissolution of Kebbi State Executive Council with effect from Wednesday, September 7th, 2022. This was contained in a statement by the Secretary to the state government, Babale Yauri. Yauri said that the governor appreciated the individual contributions of each member of the dissolved cabinet and thanked them for their dedication to development of the state during their respective tenures, while further commending all the members of the dissolved council of their performance. A reconstituted state executive council will be announced soon, with some of the members of the dissolved council as well as others outside the dissolved council. You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Coming up shortly. Commercial motorcycle riders lament rising costs of living. Details of this and more after the break.
Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. You're watching the news update on Trust Television. A reminder of our top stories. Baby, 4 women die in Jigawa canoe accident. Gunmen kill Islamic cleric in Ebonyi as Murik calls for justice. Elsewhere, it has been observed that the local credit system in the country is going extinct due to the advancement of technology and lack of trust between the business owners and the customers. In this report, Trust TV's Kabir Lawal interviewed a cross-section of respondents and filed in this report.
Reports showed that there are traditional financial institutions which predate the banking system that engage in limited financial intermediation by channeling funds between lenders and borrowers without fees. These people believe has transformed some petty traders to big-time business operators. This system, they said, is a good alternative for borrowing from financial institutions because the modalities are not too rigid. Traders who want to grow their businesses can, instead of borrowing from financial institutions with their attendant strict conditions, go to such local institutions to borrow.
We've lost trust in people, that's the truth, because even when you keep your money with your family, some of them tend to run away with it, that's the truth. So instead of you putting your money into someone because of, I mean, sentiments and all of that. I mean, back in the days, they used to trust each other. In the community, people bring money together to execute particular projects, and you can give somebody your money and go to bed, knowing fully well that anytime you need it, you can get it. But these days, a lot of people will collect your money and jackpot.
In this system of financial assistance, people who want to build houses but do not have enough money to start with can join Borrowers Club to enable them achieve their set objective. However, in the Federal Capital Territory, a cross-section of people say due to economic hardship, trust deficit and advancement of technology, the local credit system is going extinct.
Mostly from our economy, like now, you know, earlier, like let me use for example, like Goodluck Jonathan time. You know, people used to have money. Like me now, I know what I was having that time. I had a small business I was doing that was giving me a lot of money. And the business, I don't even know where to invest the money on, understand? I was kind of like, okay, make I give my brother some money, you understand, but maybe tomorrow you bring the money in return in order to help the person. But now, I don't even have what to even eat myself. As a young person like me, I am 24 years as I'm talking to you now, but I don't even have, this is my business. Imagine the kind of business, but in Europe or in some other place of like part of the world. Yeah, I have POS business.
The two different ways of banking, for me, the local one was the bank, you save your money, you get it, but there is no interest. But this bank of nowadays, if you save your money, there are some banks where you save your money, you will get interest from those banking.
It is imperative to know that informal loans in Nigeria are key to improving access to credit and social cohesion in towns, and especially in villages who do not have access to the formal financial system. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Commercial motorcycle riders in Bajoga town, one of the largest commercial hubs in Gombe State, say that the current economic situation across the country is taking a toll on their business. Speaking to Trust TV, one of the riders said that he used to generate 5,000 naira daily, but now the narrative has changed. Ibrahim Ismail has more.
Muhammad Umar is a breadwinner to his 11-member family. The Okada rider said 3 years back he earned up to 6,000 naira daily, but things have changed in the commercial city of Bajoga. To be honest, the commercial activities in the past are better than that of these days. Even though I don't know the reason for the decline, commercial transport services also reduced. Routine services from here to Ashaka has declined. Uber also pointed out that the dwindling income for commercial riders in Bajoga may not be unconnected to decline in economic activities during the rainy season in the city. Other riders also speak on the impact of the current economic situation on their operation. The work used to be very lucrative, but now the activities have declined. It is because of the rainy season, but we thank Allah. Things were better in previous years. We used to make 4,000, 5,000, some make 3,000 naira. You won't lack what to feed your family. This is how the work is. Maybe it is because of the rainy season. Bajoga, headquarters of Funakai local government area, is the second largest commercial city in northern part of Gombe State, after the state capital, Gombe. Commercial Okada riders also battle fuel price hike, sold between 198 naira and 220 naira per litre. This comes as the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) said the country's inflation rate in July was 19.64%, the highest rate since September 2005, making life difficult to many Nigerians. Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
Now, the Federal Road Safety Corps has called on road users to avoid night travels as a way of reducing incidents of crashes that lead to loss of lives and control. The Corps Public Education Officer of the Federal Road Safety Corps, BC Kazim, gave the advisory following reports of the rising number of victims of road accidents as travelers move from one part of the country to the other at night. Kazim, who further stressed that crashes at night were more fatal than others in the day, appealed to drivers and passengers to embark on journeys that will be completed before nightfall. He assured that the Corps will continue to double its efforts by constantly engaging the motoring public nationwide through aggressive awareness and sensitization campaigns until the desired result is achieved.
Please do not embark on such journeys. Driving situation differs. The way you drive in the night is quite different from the way you drive in the day, and that is why some people in the night will still be going on 100 kilometers per hour, saying that is the specified speed limit. Meanwhile, when you are driving in the night, it says you using your common sense speed. It's no longer 100 kilometers per hour. So that is why we are saying that though we do not have the constitutional powers or the laws does not say we can ban night journeys, but we are advising people that it's not always safe.
Now, a Competition and Consumer Protection Tribunal sitting in Abuja has dismissed a suit challenging the price increase by MultiChoice Nigeria Limited, owners of satellite television services DSTV and GoTV. Delivering judgment on Tuesday, a three-member panel of the tribunal dismissed the suit for lacking merit. Maradia Umar has more.
The claimant, Festus Onifade, a legal practitioner, had sued the company on behalf of himself and the coalition of Nigerian consumers. While MultiChoice Nigeria Limited is the first defendant, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission (FCCPC) is the second respondent. Onifade, while arguing his case, said he resorted to the tribunal due to the refusal of the FCCPC to hear and determine two of his complaints bordering on tariff increase in May and June 2020. After the court judgment, he expressed dissatisfaction as most of his peers were not upheld.
Our claims was not upheld, so that's the summary. Next line of action is that we'll look at the judgment, we'll study it, we'll look at any possible areas if we can appeal. So we'll thoroughly study the judgment. As you know, this area, particularly the tribunal itself, is novel, is new. I think in a way we are one of the first persons that have approached the tribunal on these issues, and in a way they were overwhelmed at some point, but at least we're able to pass through those stages, and so we look at all these things. It's quite new. Again, you know, the law, again, we are coming under.
While counsel to MultiChoice declined a video interview, the tribunal ordered the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission (FCCPC) to review the activities of MultiChoice and report back in 6 months.
The parties filed their processes, sought reliefs, and the court, in their wisdom, had reached its decision and determination of those issues and the reliefs. We wouldn't want to say otherwise, and that is the best decision or judgment of the tribunal, and that is the best of it. The commission will do everything within its power and mandate to protect Nigerian consumers. Know that.
Ruling on some preliminary objections while delivering a ruling in the case on Tuesday, a three-member panel of tribunal chaired by Thomas Okosun ordered MultiChoice's managing director to appear before it on 8th of September 2022 with an audited financial report of pay television for appropriate sanctions to be determined. Martia Umar, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, away from Nigeria, officials from 24 African nations and U.S. climate envoy John Kerry are due to gather in Egypt from Wednesday for a conference to drum up funding for tackling climate change. According to the UN Economic Commission for Africa, the forum, which will be held in Egypt's new administrative capital, east of Cairo, seeks to leverage African leaders' voices to mobilize greater international support for a green and resilient recovery in Africa. Alongside Kerry, the regional meeting will also be attended by UN Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed, international organizations, NGOs and the private companies. The three-day forum comes days after African leaders lashed out at industrialist nations for failing to show up at a summit in the Dutch city of Rotterdam dedicated to helping African nations adapt to climate impact. And finally, in sports news, Chelsea have sacked manager Thomas Tuchel after the team's disappointing start to the season, which continued with a defeat in their European opener. Tuchel has paid the ultimate price for the Blues' inconsistent start to the campaign, with Tuesday's 1-0 loss to Dinamo Zagreb in the Champions League proving to be the final straw for the Stamford Bridge board. Chelsea have picked up 10 points from 5 games so far this season, after spending the most of any club in the transfer market. Tuchel also won the Champions League in 2021, with the club subsequently winning the UEFA Super Cup and the Club World Cup. And that's a wrap on Trust News Update. Watch more via all our social media platforms and also watch us live on YouTube. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.